Get ready for an up-close and personal tour of the SquirmStack, the perfect mealworm farm setup. So to start off, I just want to highlight this is super sturdy, super well made, which I really appreciate. It's also very good at closing and staying closed, which is also always nice when you're dealing with feeder insects. I really appreciate the ventilation as well. So your SquirmStack setup is going to be comprised of 3 main tiers. This first one is for your beetles to breed in. So let's take a look inside. So this came with a bunch of fun little extras. We have a tweezer for picking up our mealworms and a special cute little scoop for our wheat bran, which I love it, and I love that it's branded. So we'll be making good use of this in a second. This is where your beetles are going to go. They're going to have some bedding. You'll also notice these holes, perforations down here on the bottom. Those are so that the eggs can fall through. And you guys, if you've seen some of my other mealworm manor videos, you'll remember that I'm always complaining about my beetles eating my eggs. And this prevents that from happening because they just fall through the holes into the tier below. And that's where we'll be keeping our worms. That'll be kind of our grow out bin. This cup right here is what I think is the most genius part of this entire setup. This is really what made me pay attention to this company and be interested in collaborating with them in the first place. This is the pupa cup. So what you do is as your worms pupate in these lower bins, you'll pull out the pupas and keep them in here. Because it's this elevated cup, your beetles can't get up here and eat them, so they're safe. But as your pupas turn into beetles, they'll kind of crawl out and fall down to be with their beetle friends. So I am in love with this feature. I think this is really what elevates this from my 3-tier drawer setup. Because you can add mesh to a 3-tier drawer and get this effect, but this is really what sets this product apart. What I think will make my mealworm farm much, much more efficient. Below it, we have this little cup. It's just to dispense the bran, so that acts as food and bedding for the beetles. I'll still add some vegetables, but those mostly provide moisture. Then, as your beetles have mated, had little babies, the eggs have fallen through, they fall into this next tier. And this is going to be our worm grow out bin. One cool feature you'll notice is that this grow out bin has what we call a sifter. So right now, when you look in my mealworm farm, everybody's just chilling in their own frass. This is not necessarily a big deal. It's not like the mealworm poop is going to make them sick or anything, but now if I ever want to get that out because it's accumulated to a level that maybe is like affecting allergies or something, I have to do a full substrate change. Not so with the SquirmStack, my friend. All I have to do is pull this up and kind of shake it a little. The frass will sift through, leaving the bedding and the worms. So this is awesome because instead of having to do a full substrate change, I can just sort of sift through this every few weeks. And then what I would recommend doing, as well as SquirmStacks would recommend, is leave this frass alone for a bit, because a lot of times you'll have baby worms in there that you can't even see, and that's where the magnifying glass they sent me comes in handy. These 2 bins are functionally identical. You'll notice this one also has the sifting layer. So what our goal is going to be is that this is going to be our grow out bin, and then as our worms get to be like, we're going to move them into this bin. This just makes it easier when you're going to feed your reptiles. You just always know which bin you should be pulling from. I realized I forgot to mention, but these also come with their own little labels, which are removable. These are also 3D printed. As an engineer, your girl loves labels, so I'm thrilled. So for me, what I know is that my bin 1 is going to be my grow out bin, my bin 2 is going to be my feeder bin, and then they give you, I believe, 1 through 6 in the set because SquirmStacks are modular. You'll notice that these all click together really well, so you can actually buy extra layers if you want to have like different gradations of worm size, or if you want to you just have a lot more worms and you need more room for them.